I welcome you on Luntha television. I take you to Mangochi Central constituency, and I am bringing Honorable Victoria Kingston to be with us on this special program on Luntha television. I welcome you, Honorable.
Thank you so much, Father.
I know that development is a process. It's the wish of every Malawian to see our nation at a better place. When you started serving the people of Mangochi Central, you had promises and you had plans of what you wanted to do for the people. I want to briefly ask, since you began, now it's 3 years, and where we are, what plans did you have?
Thank you, Father, for letting me thank you and Luntha television for hosting me to this program. So far, when I was campaigning for the people to vote for me to be a member of parliament, first of all, what I had in mind was girl education. Because Mangochi, if you look at Mangochi at the district, we are not doing well in education, especially for the girls of Mangochi. They go for early marriages, and that was worrying me a lot. Being a woman, seeing most of the girls in Mangochi, they're not doing well in education. I was born here, 1972, I'll be clocking 50. I was born here, I grew up here, I did my primary school here in Mangochi, so I know what the girl child in Mangochi faces in terms of education. And the other thing was women were not empowered economically. So I wanted, if the people voted me, I was telling them, first thing I would do education and empowerment of women. So far, this is 3 years. I would say so far so good, despite some challenges which I faced during my road to this year. For the 3 years I've been a member of parliament for Mangochi Central, but so far so good. Like for the education, I would say I've at least achieved something which is remarkable to the nation of Mangochi. I've done school blocks, and I introduced the education trophy to the girl child, and this has always been done every year. We have 2 Sunday schools in Mangochi, St. Monica Girls Sunday School and Mangochi Sunday Schools. And every year, all the girls who have done well, I give them an incentive. So I go there, I mix my St. Monica's Girls Sunday School and Mangochi Sunday School girls. I honor and award the girls who have done well during their MCE. Apart from that, Mangochi Sunday School, they had intake of disabilities children, and looking at their classrooms, they didn't have the lamps to enable them to go to classroom. I've done it, and this I did it using my own pocket. I've constructed 2 primary school blocks at Nkumbi. I've done a roofing at Koche Model School during the cyclones. One of the, is it cyclone Anna, grew up a primary block, Koche Primary School. And unfortunately, this is where I did my primary school. So it was OIMP. Look at your block. So it really helped me. And with the funding of the CDF, I renovated and did the roofing. And currently, I'm doing office block at Nyasa Primary School. Nyasa Primary School, they didn't have any block. Learners were learning under a thatched school block. And during learning season, they could suspend so then learners would go back. And let me thank MESIP. MESIP have constructed 4 blocks, but they had no school teachers' office. So the plans were that they should use one of the blocks to be like a teacher's office, but I said no. Already you've got about 6 classes. We only remaining 2. So even if you take one to be the teacher's office. So with the funding of CDF, right now I'm currently constructing a school office block for the teachers. And apart from that, I've done boreholes in other rural schools where they were lacking good safe water. So I've drilled boreholes in the schools, and some other schools kids had to cross rivers to get to their schools. I've done culverts.
I want to bring you first on the borehole fund.
Yes.
Because in our research in Mangochi, that is the first financial year, that was 2020-2021. towards end of April of 2021, we know that the financial year comes to the end, that's around end June, right?
Yes, exactly.
When we moved around, it was only one among the constituencies, one which had used the borehole fund. Talk more about that, because we found that that fund was less utilized, and people risked having this money going back to account one. Yes.
You're very right, Father, because during the first year at the district council, we did procure the boreholes individually. Like as me as Mango Center, with the borehole fund, I was able to drill 3 boreholes, and that was done, and the boreholes were due in time. But the second year, unfortunately, with the bidding process, the district officer said, no, you cannot do it separately, each constituency. We need to tender as one Mangochi district, because it's a lot of money. Unfortunately, the second year I did not do the bore, because I utilized the money to do piped water here in Makawa. People were lacking piped water. So I said, no, I'm not doing borehole. I'm going to utilize my funds using piped water. So I was not participating in the borehole.
Where has that water come from to where?
That water is coming from Koche. You use as association board. We have our own piped water here, not the water board from the government. This is an association, water users association.
Honorable, for your information, I have visited every kiosk around, and I confirm that I've seen that water run.
Yes.
And move ahead.
So the community under the ADC, as you know, everything which I do is the voice of the ADC. So that time around at the ADC, they said, no, this borehole fund this time around, we want to use it to bring more water to Matui. The water was there, but the association, they didn't have much capacity to take it to Matui. So with the funding, I managed to buy the pipes and do all the paperwork so that I could extend the piped water to Matui. So that was the second year borehole fund.
Okay.
But now this one, when you're talking about, yes, it's true. And I'm also worried because up to now, the district council, they managed to identify a contractor to do the borehole. We don't know who that contractor is. I understand he is paid to do all the drilling of the borehole in the 12 constituencies of Mangochi. But when we asked the council, they said, okay, the time the contractor was ready, that was when the rainy season, and out of that we had the cyclone, the last Anna. So the contractor could not manage to go in the rural areas to do the drilling, but the contractor, we are being assured the contractor was paid, or what is waiting for the good time to go and drill the boreholes.
Pause a minute, Honorable.
Yes.
Who controls this fund?
It's
I
the
thought
water.
it was it's under your capacity.
Exactly. And as I've told you, first year it was beautiful, smooth. I could even say I had drilled 3 boreholes. We we matched together 3-4 MPs. We contracted one contractor to do the drilling, the boreholes, and it was done perfectly. I would go and show you 1, 2, 3. They're there.
I have visited many of them, even up to Matangira.
This year, this financial year ending March, it was the council now. We're just told by the management of the council that no, this time around we'll find a contractor using the news media. So they tendered in the newspaper, they found the contractor, but unfortunately up to now as I'm talking today is 26th of March.
Yes.
That contractor hasn't drilled the balls in Mangochi. But our eyes are open. We've been assured that by the end of next month, we'll have all the 3 boreholes drilled.
Remember that the financial year is coming to a close.
It ended in March. Yes.
You are still elaborating the different moments. I want to cut you short.
Yeah.
I want to bring you back into your constituency. Among the challenges you have met as a member of parliament for Mangochi Central so far in the 3 years?
The challenges are there. Of course, the one known is the Cyclone Anna, the COVID-19, dread, the developments. And the other thing, the challenge which is still there, is the working collaboration with the district council. First of all, the funding. The government also, they fund us quarterly. And sometimes they delay the funding. And that also delays the development. When we have delayed funding, everybody stops. And you go like today, find a quotation of constructing a school program, it will be like 12 million. And the fund will come in after 2-3 months. And now, from the 12 million, it will jump to 15 million because we've delayed the funding. You know how things are nowadays. The prices are escalating each and every day. So, one, delay of funding. That's the one challenge. Two, I've already regulated the COVID-19 also delayed the project. Other thing is the community itself, because the CDF project, the way I know it, the community has to participate. They need to contribute something towards it, whether sand or stones or. But the challenge have been there. Maybe 1 or 2 projects the community contributed. But nowadays, with the social media, they say, no, this is your money, it's government money, you're not supposed to contribute anything. So which is contrary to what CDF is all about, because the community needs to contribute something towards the project. But as I'm talking now, it's so difficult to mobilize the community to contribute something if you're like constructing anything to do with the CDF fund. That's a challenge also which is expensive. So the project we do, when you see a building, so this is 7 million, kind of raise eyebrows. It's too much because the community was supposed to contribute something, but now the community are not contributing anything. So it kind of, the contractors like is charging more money, is charging more for the small project, but just because everything, even the labor, it's all been done by the contract, it's met by the contractor. So that kind of raises the project, the cost of the project.
Okay, great. With the time, I know it's a lot. When I move around for your information, I have done research before our chat, and I have met different chiefs. I've met ADC, chairpersons, councillors. I have heard good things, I must confess, and the collaboration there is. I've moved around and I've seen the different shelters on the roads which have been done under your leadership. What's your collaboration with the ADCs and the councillors and VDCs?
Oh, the collaboration is good. You've heard it for yourself. But anyway, let me take you back. You said about shelters along the road. Those shelters, I did them when I was campaigning. Before I came in, I became an MP. Okay. So I did it on my own, looking at the need of the shelters along the road. So I had to do them. Nothing to do with CDF. Okay. Now coming back to ADCs, the shelters, there's a good collaboration. And I took it, I told myself that this money is not for me to decide what to do. It's for the development of the people. So it all goes through the ADC. We are in good collaboration with the ADC. Even my councillor is here. By the way, I have 10 councillors at Nabangoche Centre. Okay. Yeah, because we have 2 from the district, 8 at the municipality. But it's not easy to manage all the 10 councillors and work them together. And I have got 3 ADCs, not even 1. I have Coach ADC, Mapira ADC, and Imponda ADC. They're all under my Mangochi Centre. So
the town Mangochi itself is under your...
Exactly. As of now, it's still under me. Though rumors are there, if all goes well with the demarcation by the Malawi Commission, that will make another constituency away from Mangochi Centre. But it's subject for the bill to be passed at Parliament. So that's for 2025. But from now up to 2025, even Mangochi municipality at the Boma, at the municipality, is under Mangochi Centre. So there are 8 wards under Mangochi Centre, and 2 wards at the district, Koche and Tundu, making it 10 wards under Mangochi Centre with 3 ADCs. Yes, but there's good communication. I collaborate well. And most of our work, we are always at Parliament. If you come here maybe for a weekend or 2 weeks, so I took that, I'm not on the ground. Let me trust these people. So I trusted my ADC, I trusted my councillors that you are on the ground, let's work together. You have a list? Like now, next month, I'll be meeting them. We should prepare for this financial year, 2022 to 2023. They're already geared. What is on the list? School broke, like under 5 clinic, we want to do this bridge. When the money comes, I only said, okay, we've received, like now, if all goes well, we must have 25 million from the 100 million. So I will call to them. We have 25. Who stands? It's Coach ADC. What's on your list? Oh, we want to do under 5. Here we are. Next next quarter, I go to my ADC. What is on the list? This is the money. Yeah, so we go on like that. And I must be honest, I'm happy. I'm proud of myself because with this good working relationship, the development of Mangochi Center are going smoothly.
What has been your collaboration with CSOs in your constituency as you gear towards huge development in your area?
I must be honest, I can rate it at 40%. Because most of the CSOs, when they come and to do a project, I must be honest, they will not call in an MP. They will straight go to the ADCs. Oh, want to do this. So you just, what is happening? Oh, is this NGO, they're doing this. Okay, what is this? You get like, you are like left when the planning session. But now, when something amiss goes on, it will be backfire. That's when I said, MP, there's this thing. Oh, the NCO is doing this. Now I blame the NCOs. And all the meetings we have with the NCOs, at Women Caucus, at Parliament, we urge them to work with the Member of Parliament. Because we are torchbearers for the development. We are not there like to campaign, because maybe they feel that, okay, when I bring the MP, and the SO bring the MP in the forefront, maybe they'll think that they're campaigning for us. But no, we are the torchbearers. We are the gatekeepers of the development with the ADCs and the councillors. But they don't collaborate with the members of Parliament. You ask each and every member of Parliament, this will be the same song. The SCOs, they don't collaborate with them. There are few, of course, but 3/4 of them, they don't collaborate with the members of Parliament. So we just watched aside and said, okay, let's do it.
Could this be the reason why the government of Malawi has narrowed the space for civil society organizations?
It can be, and it might be true. It can be. Because even you ask me, how many NCOs are you working in your constituency? There are many, but I don't know them. At once, we had an interface with the executive of the NCOs and NGOs at the district council. But the meeting couldn't end well. We said, okay, can you bring us the list of all your NGOs, NCOs working with us? And can you segment the Mangochi Center? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Mangochi East, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then at least our work, our duties is oversight. So even an NCO working in Mangochi, is my responsibility and my duty to do the oversight? Is it really working the way it's supposed to be done? But now they tend to.
But today, when you look at many NGOs and CSOs, they say that members of Parliament are rarely available.
Here I am. You found me here in Mangochi. Here we are at the lake, Andrews Hotel. Yes. You found me. You gave me proper notice. And I must thank Imagine. Because I was notified 3 days ago. Okay, we attend to do. Are you going to be available? I'm going to be available. Because I was attending a committee meetings in Ilongwe. Now we are doing our committee meetings. But with the notice and the significance of this meeting, I found it proper. I had to drive all the way to Mangochi to here we are 3 of them. Give us proper notice, engage us. Not just, okay, tomorrow you're wanted. No, engage us, we can collaborate. And I must be honest, some other SOs, when they feel that this is important, we are busy, they can even research the meeting. We tell them, okay, this we're going to do. They can research the meeting just to meet us all. We are available for the people.
Beautiful. As we come to the conclusion of our chat, to me, before we leave the issue of CSOs, there is a lot of concern from civil society organizations who are collaborators in development with a space limited, with the president signing that document. There is a concern and outcry since they too are partners in development. what can be done better for the collaboration to move on rather than shrinking their working space?
Can I call it shrinking the working place? I don't think so. I'm sure this bill has been there before. We found it. And there have been some consultative meetings for us to pass the bill at Parliament. I'm sure there was some consultative meetings so that bill should be passed. And accountability has to be there. So I might not say, I cannot say, maybe the SCOs are afraid of that because you need to be accountable. But that's a fact. One has to be accountable whatever he's doing. So I still feel, let me talk on behalf of the CSOs, but there's always room for negotiation. If they feel that still being infringed, I'm sure they can still start the consultation. We do amend the bills. There's room for amendment. They can do the consultative meetings, they can see the president, they can meet the meetings, the particular committees of parliament to do with the bills, like the legal affairs committee. Sure, if they agree, coming on the same table and agree on one thing, the bill can come back to parliament. We can do the amendment according to their right, if at all it's supposed to be like that. Right. Sure.
Because the fear in this, thank you, I love the input that there is always space for dialogue, exactly, which is beautiful. The fear on the ground is that it would slowly lead into dictatorship. When the CSO's space is shrinking, it slowly would lead to dictatorship. And so that you say that there is a space for dialogue that might put many people's hearts at ease. As we conclude, Honorable Victoria Kingston, what plans do you have as we move forward? Do you have 2 years to work for 3 years? 3 years. Up to 2025. What do you have in short?
My plans are there. It's just to fulfill what I promised the people. Good education, that is good shelters for the learners and even the teachers as well. Because if you don't treat the teachers well, how are you going to teach your learners? So one of the problems I have in my schools is a lack of teachers' houses. So I need to complement that. And we haven't talked about financial, economic women.
Yes,
because women empowerment. Yes. And that I'll continue because what I did, because I did not disclose what I'm doing, I only tackled on education. On women empowerment, what I did is, and this is my story, because when I was doing the campaign, I found miserable women coming at me. I said, what is the problem? Say, we do business. How much is your capital? 2,000 kwacha. I said, what? 2,000 kwacha. Yes, we go and buy my vegetables, we resell, we fund 700 top, and that can sustain my family. So it really touched me, and it helped me that 2,000 I can spend on a bottle of water, some sweet, but that 2,000 is something a woman can quote as his capital for to run in the house. So what I just said, okay, when you vote for me, half of my salary, I'm going to give it back to the women, and that I'm doing. And that's what I'm doing for economic empowerment of women. Every month end, I take half of my salary. I go to every polling center. I change. This month I go to this polling center. Next month I go to every polling center. And first time when I was donating it was 400,000 watch. I said, okay, can you go like a revolving fund? They said, no, you know what? This is money. When one swindles the money, it cannot pay back. Let's share equally. So yes, it's for money. What are you going to do? They share that 400 amongst 80 women, 5,000 each. So every month I'm assisting 80 women. These are vulnerable women with 5,000 each. And identification of this is that not only my DPP followers. I send an anonymous person to a market along the road. They will just go, those women sitting the whole day with the baby at the back, selling things in a richero, like small...
basket.
Yes, like mandas, fritters, or they go buy nizimbe, sugarcane, they sell it, they go buy vegetables. So I just send an anonymous person, can you go and write their names? So I would like maybe 30 or 40 from a market. For a dam there, how much was your capital 2,000 years? 5,000. I've empowered that woman economy. People could not, some they even shed tears. So I do this every month, and I vow I will continue it. I vowed. I said I'm going to do the rest of my tenure as a member of parliament. So the more they raise my package at parliament, I'm going to reach for more women. So that's what I'm doing to empower women economically in my Mangochi Center constituency.
Okay, beautiful. Anything more you want to tell Malawians or people in your constituency?
Yes. First of all, let me commend government for the 100,000 increase from our CDF. And people are like, no, this money, people, MPs are going to steal it, they're going to end in their pocket. But let me assure you from Mangochi Center, the 100 million is going to be in Mangochi Center, and it's going to devolve Mangochi Center, because the little I've done in the last 3 years, I have the clip, I have a documentary, I can show it. I can proudly say I've done this. So with the 100 million, let me assure my people of Mangochi Center, Mangochi Center will never be the same. We are going to use this money to develop our constituency.
What challenges this comes in have you met that you would wish people in Mangochi Central would change for your work to be much easier?
It's the mindset, because when we were, as I've told you that they said this is our money, so we cannot contribute. I wish if the people would contribute something towards the project, we would do more, because we will save that money like buying sand or quarry stone. We'll save that money and do something out of it. So I want the people of Mangochi to send their mindset, and they should send a mindset that a woman cannot do anything, because that woman they cannot do it. They've seen him in the 3 years I've done a lot. To me, I would say I've done a lot. And when I walked, I said, no, the 3 years we've been there, we haven't seen these things before. There were MPs before me, but I've done something for the 3 years. So I promised them, change the mindset. Me as a woman, I'm going to prove them wrong, that a woman is capable of doing the development for the people.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kingston, for sparing this time to be with us on Luntha Television. We'll always reach out to you because we are partners in development. I know there are so many things that I wanted us to talk about, but time is not on our side, and we have already said goodbye. But one more thing.
This is the third time you're saying.
One more thing. I know this cement factory, is it in your constituency?
Yes, it is.
How is it helping in your area?
It is. It's only this year that I was invited to officiate the opening of. They've done a clinic next to Njeleza, which is their factory site, and they've done a school block. And they promised me that they don't have electricity, the normal electricity, but with the transformer which was bought by the factory, one thing the company has assured me that they're going to supply electricity at the local school, and it is going to purchase computers, so that all the learners from that school, they're going to start learning computers. So far so good. And let me commend the management, especially the chairman of cement factory, Mr. Gafar, is doing a great job to me in my constituency, that he has the factory within my constituency.
Beautiful. It was the courtesy of Luntha TV and collaboration with Majin, with support from NCADCA, that we brought this program as we reach out to follow up development in different areas, different constituencies, and we were now in Mangochi Central constituency with Honorable Victoria Kingston, and the beautiful things that are happening. And with this accountability moving on, our country will move. Certainly it won't remain the same. You have been with me, Father David Nwagaba, and in the machines we had Lord Rikwani and Precious Nkandawire. Stay tuned to Luntha Television.
Luntha Television, bringing wisdom into your home.